check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, do it again. Check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. Hang on a second. It says, no, T's, but the sound. Oh, on the sound. Shouldn't be coming up there. It's sound shit. Can hear it from. Right, let's do it again. Check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shit. Hang on a second. Hey, can you hear me okay? Check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so mute the other mic. Right, no problem. So I'll just.
Hello, good evening everybody, and welcome to F1 Tonight 2017 Season 3 Race 18, and what a race it is going to be. And clearly you can see qualifying, we will be doing 3 qualifying sessions. We have 18 drivers this evening, but qualifying is going to be very, very wet indeed. Now I'm going to see if I can get the weather reports for the following qualifications and also the race, but we can already see a number of the drivers going out there. Let's see who's going out, and we'll also go through the Drivers' Championship and see where we are with that. So first out is Martin, BMW, in the Toro Rosso. So they're all gone out on the wets. Now this is certainly going to mix things up for this qualification. So let me run through our runners and riders and their positions at this moment in time as well. So let's start at the top, and Stoner for Haas has taken the lead of this 2017 Season 3 Championship on 240 points. Bass F1 for Ferrari is currently in second place with 229. Bo F1, his teammate for Ferrari, is in third place with 202. Then we have the Chaos Twins, the McLaren drivers. UF Gamble is currently in fourth place with 138 points. Savage is in fifth place with 108 points. Then coming in sixth we have Michael in the Mercedes, he's on 106. John F1 tonight is for Red Bull now. He was previously with Haas. He's seventh place with 94 points. Then we have Martin BMW. He's currently eighth place for Toro Rosso with 90 points. Ninth we have Slim Shamey for Williams Racing with 75. 10 Slacky for Renault, 74. His teammate Buddha is currently 11th with 54. Then we have Jerome for Mercedes, 52. Nicky F1 for Force India, 37. Grim F1, who was formerly with Red Bull but has changed to Haas, he's currently in 14th place with 29 points. Phenomenon for Sauber is 15 with 22. Peter F1 for Williams, 16 with the 19. Zwoof F1 for Red Bull Racing, he's currently in 17th place. Boyke is 18 for Sauber, 19 is Alfred for Force India, and 20 is Miguel for Toro Rosso. On the actual team championships, Ferrari are in the lead with 427 points. Haas are in second place with 332. McLaren 246. Mercedes 158. Renault are currently in fifth place with 128. Then Williams, Toro Rosso, Red Bull, Force India, and coming in last is Sauber. So we've just seen Martin spin out. We haven't seen any time set out. Martin was actually the first out on track. Not too sure if he still is, but let's stick with him and see how it actually runs and how he goes on this. Clearly qualification is going to be very, very interesting indeed. It's going to mix up the pack, especially if we have a dry race. So we will see what happens with regards to that. So looks like we will have rain throughout this qualifying session. However, I'm being told by our weather forecasters that the race is going to be dry-ish. So I think we'll leave that open to speculation. Dry-ish. It could be that it's going to be overcast and we might have some light rain, or we might have a number of rain episodes, and then it's a question of whether you go on to the intermediates, stay on the dries, or indeed whether it gets bad enough to indeed go as quality as for full wets. But I don't think it's, from the report I'm getting, we're not expecting it's going to be full wet territory, but let's say it's just going to be damp. So let's open up. So we've already had Buddha for Renault set a time of 153.9. Michael for Mercedes set 154.9. Martin BMW set at 206. Savage for McLaren has set a 153.3. So very interesting to see what's happening with regards to that. Let's run with Bo. He's our Ferrari driver, or one of our Ferrari drivers, his teammate Bass. Now, they're in a very precarious position. They were storming ahead in this championship, certainly up until around about race 15. And then, unfortunately, due to a number of circumstances, they weren't always able to race. I think Bo possibly missed a couple of races. Bass, I think, missed one. And that gave an opportunity for Haas to start to close up. But more importantly, Stoner has absolutely set a pace here. In the last 3 races, he has come alive. And that has shown and reflected, obviously, in this championship and in the fact that he's actually leading this championship now by a full 11 points. So it's certainly going to mix things up. Ferrari thought they had it in the bag. But now we've got the mix of Stoner. But don't forget also Gamble and Savage from McLaren. Yes, they are not what you expect. They do drive somewhat erratically at times, but it works. It works for them, and they've got some great points. They're currently in 4th and 5th place, and they're not a million miles behind. Okay, they're about 80 odd points behind, but 90 points. But you know, they can still catch up, and certainly I think 4th place is going to be interesting between those 2 drivers, because they are very close indeed. So let's see what happens at this moment in time. We are running with Bo. He's currently in 6th place with a 154.6, but remember, we will be dropping from 16 down, so we'll be going into qualification Q2 with 15 drivers, so we'll reduce the 18 to 15. So at this moment in time, we haven't had Bass, or Bass is just on his out lap. So let's stay with Bass. We were running with Bo, but Bo has already set a time. Bass has not. He's just coming round now. And just for a little bit of information for yourselves there, what we're looking to do is also start to name some corners, because this track does not have named corners. So what we're going to do is I'm going to refer to these as we go through, and the first one that we're going to refer to is this, the wall. Now, I have it on good authority that F1 drivers have actually nicknamed this part of the Circuit de las Americas track the wall, so let's go with that one. So as we come in now to right-hander of turn 2, then we go into the sweeping curves 3, 4, 5, then the right-hander there of 6, straighten up, left hand 7, slow it down, uphill then turn 8, round to the left turn 9, and then you sweep down to the left, that's turn 10. And you can see there's a lot of elevation change in this track. We come up now to turn 11. Turn 11, the detection point for the DRS was actually between turns 10 and 11. And then we come up to the DRS point. Clearly DRS will not be activated at this moment in time. So we're coming down the DRS activation 1 zone. Coming down to turn 12 now. It's hard left hand turn. Straighten it up. Lead you up to turn 13, which is a right-hander, fairly harsh. Then round 14 again, then you come to the left of 15, then the almost hairpin. There we go, 15. Then we come up to turn 16, and 16, 17 and 18 roll into one another, and turn 18, I again have it on good authority, has actually been named Hayden Hill, so we'll try and refer to that wherever we can. Round turn 19 now, and this track has 20 turns, as you will see, and the final turn there, turn 20, leading you back onto the start-finish straight. So Bass hasn't actually set, oh yes he does, 154.1, so he's currently in 9th place. So let's have a look who's in the drop zone. Savage, I think, has actually dropped out, not too sure, don't think that was due to any incident. So he's currently P15. Phenomenon still to set a time, so let's ride with Phenomenon for Sauber. Phenomenon for Sauber, just give a shout out to him. He's been doing really well in the qualifications. Has struggled a little bit within the races themselves, but both him and his teammate have really put on some great races recently, and very impressive. Equally impressive is that he is using all assists off. I don't know if that goes for all races or indeed for this race, But that is the information that I have, and for any of you that actually race on F1 2017, you'll know how difficult that is, and especially in competitive racing at this level. So there we have Phenomenal. He's just coming around to turn 20 now, and let's see if he's managed to set a time, or whether indeed that was his outlap. And he has set a time of 2 minutes. So looks like, I would say, that we're probably going to be looking at 156 as the drop zone, because we've got one. Savage has dropped out with a 155. So not too sure how the game will actually deal with that, whether he'll maintain that position in 15, or indeed whether he'll actually take the position of would be P11 ahead of Elfred. So we'll see. We'll bear that in mind, but we will work on the board as it is at this moment in time. So in the drop zone, yet to set a time, we have Peter F1, Stoner and Zwoof. And Zwoof has actually been disqualified, so he will not be coming out. So Zwoof riding for Red Bull there. Not too sure what occurred, but he has been disqualified. Stoner is now on his outlap, and Stoner is the championship leader at this moment in time. He hasn't come out as yet, and interestingly enough, he's gone on to a set of intermediates. We have seen intermediates with Slim Shamey and Jerome, so whether he's watching them and felt that intermediates were the way to go, we'll certainly see. I mean, the track is very wet, but there have been runners out there, so clearly that has taken off some of the surface water with those wet tyres. Obviously they are designed to clear the water, so it could be that he feels that there's a good opportunity for a dryish part of the track, or drier, which although still wet and damp, isn't got running water on it. So he's just coming round turn 11 now. It's not looking too bad, so let's see how that pays dividends. As I say, he is currently on his outlap, but doesn't look too bad at all on there. Certainly the road holding looks good. So he's just coming around turn 12 now. And the speed trap is at the end of that straight approaching turn 12, so that's where we record our highest speeds. And generally you'd probably be looking at around about 330 kilometers an hour on that speed trap. Okay, looking good as he comes around Hayden Hill there. Down to turn 19, coming up to the start-finish straight, turn 20 now, and let's see what Stoner can do as he opens it up, ready for his qualification. Peter F1 has set a 157, so he is currently in the drop zone. That's so tricky, that turn 1, but even in with these conditions it's going to be a damn sight trickier. But the, you know, overall, as I say, the track is a very good and well designed track, and I believe, I'm not too sure the actual designer's name, I'm sure somebody will let me know, but I believe that he has designed quite a number of tracks, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think Abu Dhabi is one of a number of tracks that he's actually worked on. So this track, I recall watching it being reported that it was going to be built. I think that was around about 2013, 2012 possibly, and I think the first race, correct me if I'm wrong, was in 2015. Might have been earlier, 2014 actually. So here comes Stoner now. Round turn 11. No, sorry, it wasn't turn 11. So it's coming round Hayden Hill now. And there we have it, coming down to turn 19. And DRS activation zone for the second zone is actually between turns 18 and 19. So let's see. Oh, look at that. Takes the lead. Absolutely fantastic. Sets a time of 1:51.4. So that's 9/10 ahead of Nicky in the Force India, who did have provisional first place in this queue. With a 1:52.3, also on intermediate. So clearly intermediates are the way to go. Gamble's also set an excellent time of 1:53. We're probably going to see these times start to drop now, and we've only got 2 minutes to go. So these are the men that are in danger. Peter, he's still on a set of wets. Phenomenon, he's also on a set of wets, and Zwoof, as we know, has been disqualified. So I don't think these guys, well, it's going to be difficult. They need to get certainly a 1:55. At the very least, I would say a 1:55. So let's have a look. We've also had Miguel F1 drop out, so not too sure what's happening there. I think they've probably gone off the track there and damaged their vehicle, so we're unable to proceed. But we'll see how that pans out, obviously, for Q2. But wow, yes, this is certainly mixing up. Well, I mean, we've got Stoner up there, but that said, we've also got Nicky. Nicky's you know, very good driver, certainly for Force India, and has shown some great results. But clearly the wet weather suits him, and that has reflected, obviously, in this. But again, bear in mind he has been using intermediates, and most of the rest of the field are on the wets, although a number have changed to intermediates. But unfortunately, those in the drop zone, Peter and Phenomenon, are still on the wets. So Peter just coming round turn 12 now. So he's coming up to the final sector of this circuit. So we'll ride with Peter at this moment in time, just to see how he's getting on. He certainly wants to get, I would say, at least a 1:55. He comes round this set of turns here, 8, 16, 17, 18, Hayden Hill as we refer to it now, round turn 19, and he's going, is he going in the pits? He is. I think that's it. I think Peter is done. I don't think he's going to have the opportunity to go onto that set of intermediates. I think Phenomenon has quit out as well. He's just coming up the wall there. Turn. Oh no, sorry, he wasn't. I thought he was coming out the start-finish straight there. So he's definitely struggling. Look at that though. No, he's just not able to get any grip there. So we'll confirm who we have in the drop zone for Q2, but at this moment in time it looks like it's Peter F1 for Williams, Phenomenon for Sauber, and Zwoof for Red Bull with a disqualification there, so he'll be starting in 18th place. So we are expecting Q2 to still be wet, but how wet we're not too sure at this moment in time. Hopefully it will pretty much stay like this, which will obviously give us the opportunity for the drivers to go on to the intermediates and set those times. Now the interesting thing here is that we are expecting dry conditions, or dry-ish, for the actual race itself. So the question is here, do you go with that dry setup, or do you play it safe, go with a setup which will give you the little bit more traction in damp or slippery conditions, so therefore, you know, more downforce, probably, I don't know, probably less air in the tyres, say, to give them a little bit more tread. We will see how that actually pans out, and obviously that will be critical, certainly for Q2, for quite a number of drivers. So let's see what happens with regards to that, and we'll be going into Q2 in just under a couple of minutes. So here we are. This is F1 Tonight 2017 Season 3 Race 18, Circuit de las Americas, USA. And what better state in the USA than to show what it's all about than Texas, the state where all the big hats are, and indeed the big circuits, so we can see. So what a result. We're at this moment in time, we have Nicky has actually taken, oh, I did miss that, sorry and apologies, but Nicky has actually taken that provisional first in Q1 with a time of 151.1, and Stoner had a 151.4. So fantastic result from Nicky. Clearly wet conditions definitely suited him there, although as I say, he did have the advantage certainly of being on the intermediates. His Stoner there was second for the Haas. Michael Mercedes was third, Jerome 4, and Buddha for Renault was 5. All of those were on the intermediates. Gamble in the McLaren was 6, Bo Ferrari was 7, his teammate Bass was 8, Martin BMW was 9, and as we can see here, we have lost Zwoof, Peter and Phenomenon. So here we are, we're back for Q2 and we still have the damp conditions. So this is what I was saying earlier with regards to the drivers. They now need to make a decision as to what they're going to do with setup, because we are expecting that the race itself will be under drier conditions. And I'm pretty sure that I saw the McLaren driver go out first there. So let's have a look. Here's Gamble. No, there's Savage. What am I missing here? That's weird. Okay, must be Slacky that I saw going out first then. So Slacky is currently on his out lap. He is first out. He's followed by Haas. I think that is Zwoof. Then we have Buddha. Then we have Williams, which will be Slim. And then the Ferrari drivers coming in behind. So let's run with Slacky. He's the first out on his out lap, so let's see what he can actually do. And this Renault driver has shown some great promise this season. He's certainly been performing well. He's been a little bit erratic at times. Certainly quite an aggressive driver, and certainly that has unfortunately gone against him at times, but a good quality driver. So let's hope that he gets that under control, and he's going to certainly picked up some valuable points this year, and I'd expect to see a lot out of him in the 2018 season. So here he is now. He's just coming around turn 11, a little bit wide there, round 11. Sorry, not 11. What am I saying? I do apologise. That was 12. He's coming around 13 now. So he's a little bit wide on 12 there, probably on the braking zone. Coming around 15 now. Then coming around 16, 17 and 18 turns, Hayden Hill. This is where you build up an awful lot of speed coming around these corners, because you really foot down nearly 8th gear as you come to turn 19. Then a quick point and squirt for the final turn 20, taking you into the start-finish straight. Obviously no DRS activated at this moment in time, as we are under intermediate or wet conditions. Coming up the wall, as we are going to call this now, to turn 1, the wall. And it is an incredible rise in elevation there. Nicely done. See the Mercedes driver just moving over for him, giving him the opportunity to set this qualifying time now. Nicely done through these circuit of turns 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Around turn 9 now, and then a quick sharp left into 10. Come rising round the hill there. Down to turn 11. DRS activation point is between turns 10 and 11. Ooh, a little bit of backslide there. And then we have the DRS on this straight running between turns 11 and 12. As I say, it's not activated this moment in time because we are under wet conditions. So we come down, turn 12 now, hard left-hander, over to the right-hand side of the track, line it up to the left hand for that right-hand turn of 13. Nicely done there, ride the curb, round 14, down to 15. Tricky turn that 15, you can so easily get it wrong, and it really compromises your exit and your entrance into this 16, 17 and 18 Hayden Hill turns. Down to turn 19 now. Nicely done there. I think we're probably going to see a 152. Buddha sets a 151.4. Grim sets a 152.0. And Slacky sets a 151.4. So Slacky has taken provisional first place in Q2. His teammate is provisional Q2. And Grim in the Haas is now in third with a 152.0. Let's watch Bo as he's coming round. Martin BMW still in the pit. And Bo sets the fastest time of 151.1. So we're seeing all these drivers in the 151s. And we just see Gamble now set a 150 for McLaren. Fantastic result for Gamble there. Let's watch Nicky now. He's just coming around the turns 5, 6, 7, 8. Turn 9 now. Lovely turn 10. You can so often think that you're getting it wrong, but it's you're riding blind over that corner. Down to turn 11. Nicely taken right on the apex there. Coming down, as I say, this is where you're going to be hitting your top speeds. Generally in the dry, be looking to hit around about 330 kilometers an hour. So that's, let me see, quick calculation. I think that's around about 170, 180 plus miles an hour. Nicely around 13 there. 14's not much of a turn. You've probably just line up straight into that and then into 15. Very tricky turn, and again he's hitting these. He really does hit these apexes beautifully, I've got to say. Around turn 16, 17. Oh, we can just see. I think that was Bass ahead of him there, sliding the car. A bit of drift going on from the Ferrari driver. Let's see, Nicky comes round now. And he doesn't set a time. Oh dear, that's a bit disappointing. But Stoner, oh yes indeed. Stoner, our championship leader at this moment in time in a Haas, sets a 149.5. So 8 tenths faster than the McLaren driver Gamble. And nearly a full second faster than his competitors or his closest rivals in Ferrari, both Bo and Bass. So I think Stoner's laying it down now, and we've seen this driver really progress so well in this championship, and what a great way to show his dominance at this moment in time with Haas. Then we have Jerome, he's currently in 10th place, really not liking these conditions here on the intermediates. He did better time, I think, when he was on the wet, so again, this could be down to setup, but we will see what happens with regards to that. Nicky is now coming round again. So he's just coming around turn 12 now, so we'll come back to him. He's currently in the drop zone, he hasn't set a time. Slim Shamy in the Williams, also in the drop zone at this moment. He hasn't set a time. Michael, he's currently in the pits, he hasn't set a time. And Martin is just on his outlap. So I think Elfrance has actually dropped out. So not too sure what's happened with that. So again, he might slip into P11 for Q2. Sorry, for Q3. So Jerome is just really not getting on with this. He's coming around turns. Where are we there? Yep, coming around Hayden Hill turn now. Let's see if he can improve on this time. He certainly needs to. I'd say that we're going to be looking for a drop zone of a 152, probably a 152.0 really. We've got a 152.5 from Slim. Jerome just does a 152.3, so that puts him safely now at this moment in time into Q2. We've still got 6 minutes to run. Sorry, Q3. We've still got 6 minutes to run of Q2. Slim Shamy is now dropped down to P11 with that 152.5. Miguel has set a 155. on the Toro Rosso. He's currently P12. Michael is now on his outlap, and Martin is just about to set a time. Let's have a look what he does. No, he hasn't managed to set a time there. So as he approaches the wall, nicely taken on the apex there. These conditions seem to have dried up an awful lot. I'm thinking we're going to be looking at softs, because clearly he's having traction problems on those intermediates. And yes, we can see Gamble in the pits, Bo in the pits, Slacky in the pits, Buddha in the pits, and Buddha has already gone on to the ultra softs. I think that's a little bit optimistic, going on to ultra softs. Oh, I would say that he'd probably be better off going on the super softs, but let's see. Bass is in the pits, Grimm is in the pits. Now they've got 5 minutes to go, so they can certainly set these times. Let's see who's the first out. But they're still in the pits, and we've got Gamble. He's gone on to the super softs. Let's see if he comes out now. This is really going to mix it up now, because we're going to see these times plummet. But who's going to be the first out? Is it going to be Renault? I think they're getting ready for their driver to come out. Just watching the pit. Oh, Ferrari also look like they're coming out. Yes, and Ferrari is coming out. So Bo is coming out on the ultra softs. Not too sure if it's ultra soft conditions. I think Gamble's called it right with the super softs, as he sticks with those. Bass, sorry, I apologise. I thought it was Bo who's coming out, but it's actually Bass on a set of intermediates. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, well, Bass has decided to go out on a set of intermediates. Gamble is still in the pits, although he has the super softs fitted. Bo has the ultra softs fitted, so maybe he's going out to judge conditions. Buddha's got the ultra softs fitted as well, but he hasn't actually come out as yet. So those that are on the outlaps are actually on intermediates, which is Grimm and Bass. So, okay, interesting. Certainly their driver's ready to go out with those dry tyres on. Ooh, this is really going to be down to the wire now. And Martin's had connection issues, so he's actually come back in again, but he needs to get out there ASAP. And if I was him, I'd quickly get a set of super softs on and get out there, because I think he's got a great opportunity to actually push himself right up here and get into Q3. So let's see. I think he's certainly got the ability to do it. So let's see what he decides. Get those super softs on, Martin. Get out there quick. So Bass is just coming round turn 16, 17. Hayden Hill turns. He's looking pretty good. It's down to 19 now. Traction's not looking bad at all. Comes around turn 20. Let's see if he can improve on that 151.3. Can he? Will he? Let's see. And he doesn't. He doesn't. Okay. Now, what signal is this going to send out? We're back in the pits. Nobody's coming out as yet. They've got those tyres fitted. Nicky in the Force India. Here we go now. That's the Toro Rosso coming out. Yep, sorry, yep. He's come out on a set of intermediates. Martin, why didn't you come out on a set of super softs? Oh dear, I don't think that was the right call to make, but still, he's got 2 minutes. He's not going to have a chance to change those tyres though. Let's have a look in the pits. Everyone's still in the pits. Oh, and that looks like one of the Williams drivers coming out. That will be Slim Shamey, and Slim is coming out on a set of super softs. Is that Slim? Yes, it is. Yes, Slim has come out on a set of super softs. Now, Slim is currently in P6 with a 150.9. Oh, immediately sliding out of the... He comes around turn 1. He's certainly having a little bit of traction issue there, but let's have a look. He's taking easy, but can he do it on these straights? This is the thing. Get that speed up. Let's find out. Everyone else is still in the pits. They've only got a minute to go. Obviously, as long as they come out on track. Oh, and Slacky's out, but he's still in the meet. He's sliding. So really, this is, I think this is super soft weather. And Buddha has retired from the session. Not too sure what's happened there. I think he's thinking, okay, I don't think it's going to change much. We've got a minute to go. I think that may not necessarily have been the right call. So Slim's on his outlap, and he's not looking too bad here. And this is certainly where he's going to make it. I mean, obviously on the straight, it's not going to be too much to judge. Let's see as he comes down into turn 12. How does that look? Not too bad at all, I think. Yeah, I think this is looking good. And could it be that what we're looking at here is that maybe sector 3 is coming round Hayden Hill turn now, down to 19. Let's see, he said a 150.9 previously. Oh, and that's it, session is over. You can still set a time though. Doesn't improve on that time. So, in the drop zone, we have Elfreds for Force India with that 151.8. Grim for Haas, unfortunately. He'll be, well, actually saying that, he's still out, so he could actually set a time. Miguel will be taking P13 or P12, depending on what happens. Martin will take P14. But let's run with Grim, because Grim's still got the opportunity to get himself through. And we've seen quite a number of drivers obviously quitting the session already, getting ready for Q3. So come on, Grim, you need to get into that Q3, my friend. You need to be there to get those valuable points for the team. Coming around turn 13 now. 14 up to that left hand, tricky left-hander of 15. Nicely hits the apex there, lay down the power now. Into turn 16. Building up, oh, and he's gone off track there. Oh, that's it. That's it. So, Grim in the Haas will be in P12. So, our fastest time set by his teammate Stoner earlier on in the session on those intermediates, so 149.5. We did see the track start to dry up. We saw Gamble come in with a 150.3. But again, I believe that was actually on the intermediates. Bo, a 150.5. Again, I believe that was on the intermediates as well. So clearly not quite right. But Q3, we are going to see dry tyres. I don't think we're going to see any more rain. So it looks like we are going to be looking at a dry Q3. And that is going to completely open up the field. Clearly the track will still be damp, or very likely to be, but it will dry up quickly as well. So what's going to happen? Are the drivers going to go out? Are they going to try and see if they can set those times early, hoping that obviously it will stick? Or are they going to sit in the pits, see what happens, wait for the track to dry up, and then move out? This is really going to be a tough call. And again, setup wise, they've gone onto their setups. They can't do too much of a changes now, so what sort of setup are they going to be running with? Okay, so there we have Stoner set that fastest Q2 time, 149.5. Gamble second, 150.3. Bo, 150.5. Nicky, 150.6. Slacky, 150.8. Slim Shady, 150.9. Michael, 151. Buddha, 151. Bass, 151. Jerome, 151. And in the drop zone, Elfren for Force India will be taking P11. P12 will be Grim for Haas. Miguel for Toro Rosso will take P13. 14 will be Martin BMW, his teammate for Toro Rosso as well. So Toro Rosso taking 13 and 14. So just a quick little intro there, just to let you know what we're doing is we're pausing between sessions. So if you see that pause screen come up with those wonderful looking people looking at the TV, don't worry about it. It's just that we're going between qualifications. And here we are, we're starting Q3, and already we're seeing a number of drivers coming out immediately. So straight away, Buddha has come out and he's the first. He's followed by his teammate Slacky. And let's see, what tyres are they on? And they are all on old softs, apart from Bass, who's on super softs, and Jerome, for some reason, seems to be on the intermediates, although he is still in the pits. So here we are with Buddha for Renault. He's on his outlap. Let's see what he can actually do. It's coming around turn 9 now, and we will see these times plummet, because we were seeing times of 1:49, which is the fastest in Q2, but that was under damp conditions. I would expect to see times coming in now of at least 1:35, 1:34, round about that to begin with, and we're probably going to see them dropping down, undoubtedly, if they stay in dry conditions, down to 1:33 or 1:32. So let's see what happens. Everybody is out. I called it. I said, what's going to happen? Are they all going to come out? Are they going to stay in and wait? Well, they all decided to come out, and here they are now. So here we are running with Buddha. He's the first out. So he's just coming to the end of his outlap now as he comes around Hayden Hill. Approaching turn 19. Into 19 now. And he's off now as he approaches the wall. Oh, and he spins it out. Oh my goodness, he manages to get it back, but he spins out on that turn 1 there. That is not going to help him with his time. It's probably going to put him down around about the 140s. I would say probably around about 141, 142, as long as he keeps it together for the rest of this lap. His teammate Slacky is behind him. I don't think he made the same error there. So they're just coming round the twists and turns of turns 5 to 9. Round 10 now. Buddha's coming up to turn 11. Nicely done there. They will have DRS. So there we see the wing open. So DRS is activated for this session. And to turn 12 now. All on their fast laps now. Coming around 15, round 16, Hayden Hill turns. Turn 19 now. Nicely done. Build up the speed, turn 20. Let's see. I predict a 141, 142. Oh, 137, my goodness. His teammate Slacky sets at 136. So clearly that area to the wall there wasn't as bad as I thought it was. And Stoner sets a provisional fastest time of 134. So as I expected, 134s, 135s. I think we are going to see these drop down to 133. We might even possibly see a high 132. Running with Bo now. Just coming around turn 15 into 16 now. Round the Hayden Hill turns. Building up speed all the way into 19 now. Let's see. And Bass has set a 134.9, his teammate on the super softs. Let's see what Bo can do on these ultra softs. And he takes second place, 134.388. He is 100th of a second of Stoner with a 134.378. 100th of a second exactly between these two drivers. That is absolutely amazing. And Bass as well, let's fair play, he's on a 134.9, so ultimately he's only what, 6/10 behind first and second place, so that's not too bad. They certainly want to improve on that. But Nicky in the Force India, we saw him performing under the wet conditions, but look at this, dry conditions, 135.4. he's already set. He's just coming around turn 13 now. He's clearly going to be looking to improve on that. Slacky, 136 for Renault. Jerome, 136 for Mercedes. Michael, his teammate for Mercedes, set 136. Gamble and Slim still to set times. So let's ride with Nicky now. Oh, he's coming into the pits, so he's quit out of that one. Let's see what he's going to do. Is he going to go on to a set of super softs? Let's see, because obviously this will be what he'll be starting the race with. So maybe he's... oh no, sorry. Yeah, he will do. He will have the choice because they were in the wet conditions in the Q2. So maybe that's what he's looking to do. He's going to get a set of super softs on. And we're seeing quite a number of the drivers pitting now. Just riding with Buddha in the Renault. So quite a number of drivers have pitted. Slim still set a time, so Slim is provisionally P10 at this moment in time, but he hasn't set a time as yet. So let's ride with Slim and see what happens. Okay, so interesting. We have seen Bo set the fastest time with a 1:33.9. So I was thinking maybe the high 1:32s. I think I was a little bit too optimistic there, but Bo blinding lap there, 1:33. Ooh. 1:33.9, but we still do have 5 minutes to go. Maybe I wasn't so optimistic. Maybe we could see a high 1:32. Certainly Stoner is going to be looking to respond to that, and he doesn't want to have a lockout of Ferrari in that front row, and he certainly doesn't want to be in the second row. But Nicky, for me, is the one that's really performing very well indeed, but I think he needs to even exceed that if he wants to maintain that P4, because I think we're probably going to see the likes of Gamble and probably even the Renault drivers, Buddha and Slacky. I think they can improve on those times as well. 1:36.0, 1:36.1, and we're just seeing, I think it's Bass coming out, or is it Bo? No, it is Bass. So Bass is just coming out of the pits. Bo is currently coming round. Now where are we now? Oh, he's coming into the pit. So let's ride with his teammate Bass. He's currently on his outlap. So Bo is provisional first place with 1:33.9. Stoner is on his outlap, so let's actually go with Stoner, because Stoner's going to need to respond to that time if he wants to maintain that P1. Currently on his outlap. Let's see what he can do here. Just coming around turn 16 now, coming up to the Hayden Hill turns. Down into 19. He's not going in, he's coming for lap turn 20 now. Let's see what he can do. Can he respond to that time set by Bo? No, he can't better that time. He comes around the wall now. So here we have Michael, he's on his outlap now for Mercedes. His teammate is currently P9, so we're looking at a back row or row 5 lockout with Mercedes. He clearly needs to improve on that, but we're seeing quite a number of drivers in the pits. I think we're seeing Bo come out now. Yeah, Bo's coming out. Bass is still out. Bass hasn't improved on his time. Bo is just coming out of the pit lane now onto the track. So it comes into turn 2 now. Let's see what he can do. We've only got 2.5 minutes left of this session, and at this moment in time Ferrari are split, with Bo taking provisional first place. Stoner in the Haas is second. Bass will be in the second row. In third, here alongside him will be Nicky from Force India. Then we have Gamble from McLaren, Buddha for Renault, Slacky his teammate, Slim Shady for Williams, Jerome and Michael bringing up to row 5 there for Mercedes. So that's how it's looking at this moment in time. Let's see how it progresses. And we've just seen Stoner set the fastest time, 1:33.8. Fantastic. He has taken 1.5 tenths off Bo's fastest lap there, and Bo is now on that lap. He's going to know that he's going to need to respond to that. He's only got under 2 minutes to do it. He can do another lap, so let's see what happens here. Is he going to bide his time? Is he going to line it up, get it ready, concentrate on that final lap, and see if he can break that 1:33.8? Let's see. He's coming around Hayden Hill now. Coming down to turn 19. Oh, yep, he's getting those tyres ready. He's putting his stamp down. Let's go. Let's go, he's saying. Here we go now. And we're going to expect a phenomenal lap from Bo here. As he comes up to the wall. Tight in on that curve there. Round the corner. Down to turn 2. Riding that curve. Line 3, line it up for that 4, 5, 6. Nicely done. Round 7. Into 8. Beautifully done there. Up that hill, round to 9 and 10. Yes. Slightly sliding, coming round 10. Lining up for turn 11. Late braking there. Lines it up. Beautiful exit there. Hits that DRS spot. There we go. Opens up. Building up the speed. He's going to go about 330, 180 miles an hour plus as he hits turn 12. Phenomenal. Beautiful. Into turn 13. Let's see what he can do. Can he do it? Can he break that 1:33.8? Can he improve on that 1:33.9? Can he take that pole place? He's coming round 15 now. Into 16. Will he be able to do it or not? He's got his teammate Bass. He's happy with 3rd place. He's got a 1:33.9. But will Bo take that 1st place? No, he quits. He can't do it. Stoner will take pole position for this F1 tonight, 2017, Season 3, Race 18, Circuit de las Americas. 2nd place will be Bo in the Ferrari with a 1:33.9. His teammate Bass will be in the 2nd row with a 1:33.9 also. Nicky for Force India, fantastic result. He'll be taking P4. So he'll be in the 2nd row there, 1:34.7. UF Gamble for McLaren will be taking 5th place. Alongside him will be Buddha in the Renault. Then we will have Michael in the Mercedes. Alongside him will be the other Renault driver, Slacky. And then row 5, Slim Shamey in the Williams. And alongside him will be... Oh, no, sorry, apologies. Slim has taken 5th place. So he's now pushed Gamble down to 6, Buddha down to 7, Michael down to 8. Slacky will now be in that 5th row, P9, with Jerome from Mercedes alongside him. So Slim Shamey pulls it out of the bag right at the end there. Fantastic result, 1:35.2, and takes P5. What a great result. Okay, so here we are now. This is it. We're getting ready for the start and the procession lap that'll be kicking off this F1 tonight, 2017, Season 3, Race 18, Circuit de las Americas. So, just quickly run through our Drivers' Championship. At this moment in time, Stoner is in the lead with the championship with 240 points. 2nd place is Bass for Ferrari with 229 points, only 11 points in it. But Bo for Ferrari is in 3rd with 202. So everything is to gain here. McLaren are holding 4th and 5th place, Gamble and Savage respectively. They're on 138 and 108 points. Can they do it? Will they be able to push through this race and get some valuable points and start to push themselves up and open up that gap between themselves and Mercedes? But also John F1 for Red Bull, he's currently in 7th place with 94 points. So there's a lot of points to be had here. So let's see what happens. I don't think we've actually got John racing this evening, unfortunately, but we will see what happens as we go into the full race. So I'm just going to pause the game now. Thank you, and I'll see you very, very shortly. So here we are. This is it. F1 Tonight 2017 Season 3 Race 18 Circuit de las Americas, and we have seen some amazing qualification rounds here. We started off Q1 in the wet. We went into Q2, it was still wet. We went into Q3 and it was dry, and we saw some phenomenal times set. 1:33.8 was the fastest lap, and that was set by our by our Haas driver Stoner. Bo is in second place. Bo is in second place. He'll be taking P2 in the Ferrari. Third place will be his teammate Bass. Fourth will be Nicky for Force India. Fantastic result for Nicky there. Fifth will be Gamble in the McLaren. Sixth will be Jerome in a Mercedes. Seven will be Buddha in the Renaults. Eight will be Michael in the second Mercedes. Nine will be Slacky in the second Renault. Elfrans will be in P10. He's Nicky's teammate. And then we have Grim in the Haas. He's currently P11. Miguel in the Toro Rosso will be P12. Martin BMW in the second Toro Rosso will be P13. Savage, not what he wanted to be. He's P14 for McLaren. Peter F1 for Williams is 15. 16 is Phenomenon for Sauber. And 17 is Woof for Red Bull. So the drivers are currently on their procession lap. Coming up now to the start of this race as they come round Stoner, round turn 13 now. And this is really going to be a race of races. Remember, Ferrari have lost out at this moment in time to Haas in the Drivers' Championship, and they are going to be looking to get some payback on this. So, what's going to happen? Stoner is currently 11 points in the Drivers' Championship ahead of Bass in the Ferrari, and he's a full 38 points ahead of Bo, who's currently third place in the Ferrari. So Ferrari are undoubtedly going to be looking to get those points, and they will push as hard as they can. Okay, here we have it. Everyone will be starting on old softs apart from Phenomenon at the back of the track there, as they're starting to line up now. And the tension is rising, the adrenaline is rushing. This is F1 Tonight 2017 Season 3 Race 18 Circuit de las Americas. This will be a race of races, I assure you. So drivers all lined up now. Lights are ready. 3, 4, 5, and they are off. Here we go, as they all come steaming up to the hill, and we can see Bo is already taking position there, and Nicky is looking to move in sneakily, but yes, Stoner takes it. But Nicky, I think, has moved up into second place. He has, and we can see Jerome in the background, I think, has gone off the track in turn 1. But let's see what happens here. We've got Stoner, he's currently in the lead. Bo has taken second place back from Nicky, but he's now gone over the track. He's going to have to give that place to Nicky. Michael for Mercedes is 4th. Gamble for McLaren is 5th. Fantastic start from McLaren there. Grim is 6th. Savage has moved up incredibly. 7th. Buddha is 8th. Zwift 9. Slacky 10. Elfrans is 11. Martin Phenomenon's 13. Miguel is 14. Bass has dropped down to P15. Jerome in the Mercedes is P16, and Peter is coming in 17 in the Williams. So here we are with Stoner now. He's got Bo 1.5 seconds off him, but Nicky is fighting against this Ferrari here as they come into turn 12 into 13, and Nicky is really pushing hard. He's only 8/10 off the back of this Ferrari. But look at Gamble. Gamble is moving up now. He's 4/10 off the back of Michael in the Mercedes. What a storming start from the McLaren drivers, both Gamble and Savage. Absolutely amazing. And I'll quickly have a look and see what sort of position change we've actually got on here. And look at this. Savage has moved up 8 places. Gamble has stayed where he is, but Savage has moved up, well, 7 places now. So that is absolutely phenomenal, and they're only in the lap 2 or just starting, so that was the first lap of this race. So we're coming into lap 2 now. Grimm's got a 5-second stop go, so not too sure what happened there with the Red Bull driver, but he's got a 5-second stop go. He's going to need to take that in the next 3 laps, or he will face a 10-second penalty at the end of this race, which could seriously damage his result. So here we are, we're riding with Stoner now. He's coming through the circuit S-bends of 6, 7, 8, 9, or coming up to 9 now. Bo is right on his tail, but Nicky is 1.5 seconds off the back of Bo, so he's backed off a little bit, so gap opening up a little bit, but Gamble is still applying the pressure there to this Mercedes driver as they're coming around turn 10. He is really laying it down. Is he going to try and look to see if he can make a move at turn 11? He's really going for it. He's got DRS now. Can he use it? Can he take advantage? Michael's moving over to the left. See if he can get a better turn into this turn 12. He's going to look to go deep into the braking if he's taking that angle. He's blocking, yes. Oh, I think he's gone a bit wide, but oh, Gamble is so close behind him. They're coming to 13 now. Another opportunity here will be on turn 15. Can he make it stick? Can he do that late break? Oh, he's so close. They're coming around 16 now. Coming to the Hayden Hill turns. Building up speed all the way. Oh, and you can see that McLaren's trying to get in there. Stoner just sets provisional fall. Bo sets provisional fastest, 139.4. They're coming to turn 20 now. He's got DRS again. Can he make it stick as they're coming up to the wall? Let's see. Here we are, the wall, and he's doing the late break. Is he going to turn it? Oh, he's taking the outside. Has he made it stick? He's gone off, but not fully off the track. Look at this. This is side by side as they're coming round. Turns 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, and Michael just slides in there, but oh, look at this. Look at this. Gamble has gone off the track. He spun it out. He just went in too deep there, and look at this. Oh no, he's dropped back. I think he'll drop back to P10. I think Phenomenal will overtake him. Is Phenomenal going to overtake? Yes, he does. So he's dropped down now to P10. Oh, and Savage has dropped down to P11. These drivers are great. They are aggressive, but it hasn't worked for them. They're now both P10 and P11. This is not where the McLaren drivers wanted to be. Swoof for Red Bull has moved up to P6, but he does have that 5-second stop go. Oh, and he's just gone into the back of Michael. Look at the damage that he's got there. Just wanted to brake, do a late break, take that turn, but went straight into the back of the Mercedes there. He's got Buddha alongside him in the Renault. He's now taken P5 from him. He's going to have to come into the pits. Well, he's got a 5-second stop go, so he might as well take advantage of it now. Buddha in the Renault has moved up to 5th place. Michael in the Mercedes is now 4th. Nicky in the Force India staying in 3rd place. Fantastic result from him. He's still 3.2 seconds off the back of that Ferrari of Bo. And Bo is 1.6 seconds off Stoner. Are we going to see Stoner dominate this race as he has done the previous 2 races, Japan and Malaysia? Who can tell? It's still early doors. We're lap 4. This is a 56 lap race. Let's see what happens. Let's run through the runners and riders, and Buddhas is starting to close down now. Renault on that Mercedes. 3-second stop, 3-second time penalty for Grimm for cutting corners. This is not Grimm's race. He's not having fun. He's having almost as much fun as the McLaren drivers, I think. They're coming around turn 10 now. Buddha's looking to close that gap down. He's got it down to 3/10. Let's see what he can do. Coming around turn 11 now. He's got DRS. DRS detection point is actually between turns 10 and 11. So he's certainly got that DRS at this moment. He's closing the gap. Oh, he's going for a late break. Can he do it into turn 12? Look at this. Oh, he hasn't got the angle. Not for turn 13. He wanted to be on the right hand side of the track there, but he still has turn 15 to go. Let's see what happens. Oh, slides it out of 15 there, loses time into turn 16, approaching Hayden Hill, and he's right up the back end, and they're side by side. What? Oh yes, and the McLaren drivers come in. So Michael has pitted. This now releases Buddha. He's taken P4 as he comes up to the wall. So Michael has pitted and he's going on to a set of super softs. So we can see quite a number of drivers have actually pitted. Let's have a quick look here. Yep. So from 10 down, they've all pitted. Some have gone on to super soft, some have maintained the ultra soft. So Buddha for Renault has now taken provisional P4. He's 16 seconds behind Force India of Nicky. He's now down to 2.9 seconds behind Bo. It was 3.5, so he's taken 6/10 out of that gap. But Bo's gap has opened up to Stoner. That's now 2.3 seconds. 3-second time penalty there for Michael. 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. So could it be that Bo had a bit of a squiffy moment, lost some time, gave Nicky an opportunity to close that gap and also open up that gap to Stoner. And Stoner, he's in a race of his own there at the front at the moment. He's a happy little bunny there. Comes round now. And let's see what that gap. It's 2.3 seconds to Bo. Nicky's 3.4 to Bo. In third place, Buddha. Starting to slowly eke into that gap between him and Nicky. Elfrans is currently P5, his teammate. So Elfrans has Elfrans has done very well here. Let's have a look, because he started pretty much at the back. So Elfrans has jumped up 5 places. Miguel in the Toro Rosso has jumped up 6 places. But again, we have seen quite a number of drivers pit, so I think that's given them the opportunity. Gamble has now moved up to P7. Phenomenon is still P8. He's got Savage still behind him in P9. Slacky for Renault is P10. Michael for Mercedes P11. Bass, well, Bass, he is not having a great race. And what is he going to do? Bass is currently 2nd place in the championship. It's only 11 points between him and Stoner. Well, it looks like a world between them at this moment. We are only on lap 6, but what is he going to do? He's going to have to try and think of something. He's going to need to either stay there as long as he can, or, well, we'll see. Let's have a look at those tyres. What is he going to do? At this moment in time, he's on a set of ultra softs. So, is he going to be coming in, try and ride those ultra softs as long as he can, eke into that gap and look for that window and come out on a set of super softs? We will see. We are, as I say, only on lap 6. We've got 50 laps to go. Let's see what happens. Swoof is coming in behind him. He's only 7/10 off the back of Bass now. So is he going to be looking? He can't close that gap. He's got DRS. Watch him into turn 12. He's got it down to 6/10, but I'd like to see him make a move on that Ferrari, but I don't know if he's going to be able to. Let's see. Coming round turn 16 now. It's now 9/10 down to a second. He needs to keep it under a second. DRS section zone is they're coming round Hayden Hill. So let's see. Has he got it? He hasn't. Oh yes, he has got the DRS. Okay, so they're coming up to the wall now. But Zwoof, can he close that gap on that Ferrari or not? Can he close him down? Can he take P12 from Bass just to make Bass's evening even better than it already is? I don't think so. But we'll keep an eye on that, see what happens. So, let's run through our drivers. Grim for Haas, he's currently P17. Peter for Williams, P16. Martin for Toro Rosso, 15. Jerome for Mercedes is P14. Zwoof for Red Bull is 13. Bass for Ferrari is P12. Michael for Mercedes is P11. Phenomenon is for Sauber P10. Slacky for Renault P9. Savage and Gamble 8 and 7 respectively for McLaren. Miguel for Toro Rosso is P6. Elfren for Force India P5. Renault Buddha is P4. Nicky for Force India is P3. Bo Ferrari P2, and our race leader Stoner for Haas. Here we are now, lap 8. Stoner, he's certainly maintaining that gap. It's 2.3 seconds. It hasn't really got too much less, it hasn't got too much more, but Nicky, he really needs to start eating into that gap now for P3. He's dropped back somewhat. He's probably lost about a second or so on the last 2 laps. Let's see what's going to happen here, because this is really going to mix it up as it stands at this moment in time. Stoner is going to dominate if he maintains this pace till the end, this championship, because Bass isn't even in the points at this moment in time. He's down in P12. Bo would certainly pick up second place points, but that still wouldn't move him up into P2, although he would be then challenging for P2 in the Drivers' Championship with his teammate Bass. But this driver Stoner has dominated the past 3 races, and it looks like he's dominating here at Circuit de las Americas as well, and Zwoof picks up a 3-second time penalty. He's really not having a great one on those. So Stoner comes across the line, starts lap 10, or lap 9, sorry. Gap now 2.2 seconds to Bo. Nicky, he is now 4.9 seconds behind Bo in second place. Buddha, his gaps dropped down. He's lost a good 5 seconds to where he was. So he's currently still P4, but he's 21 seconds behind, and Nicky's just got a 3-second time penalty. He's not going to be happy with that. Elfrens in the Force India is currently P6, but he's being challenged by Savage. Oh, and they're fighting it out now as they're coming down the start-finish straight, approaching the wall. But Savage has moved ahead of him, so Savage takes P5 from the Force India of Elfrens, but Elfrens isn't having any of it. He's going to challenge as they're coming round turn 1 of the wall, but he can't make it stick. He's now in a McLaren sandwich. Don't know if that's my favourite sandwich, or indeed whether I'd like to be there. I think not, but we will see what happens. These drivers, Savage and Gamble from McLaren, superb drivers. Oh, and Savage just spins it out there. Oh, dearie me. And this is really what I was saying. They are fantastic drivers, but they really do push the limits all the time. Phenomenal, just pick up a 3-second time penalty. So, as amazing as they can be, they can also be terrible. And I don't know what to say to them, because they are great drivers. I'd say maybe just calm it down a bit, and I think you would improve leaps and bounds, but that's for them to make that decision. They are certainly an unknown quantity, but they are fantastic to watch, as much as they are dismal to watch at times, but great drivers. Savage now, he's P9. Gamble, he's moved up to P6. He took that place from Slacky. Oh, Elfrens has taken P5 back from him. Sorry, while I was talking there about the likes or dislikes of McLaren, Elfren in the Force India has taken back P5 from Gamble, who's P6. So clearly quite a fight going on here, but also in the mix now we have Slacky for Renault. And Slacky is another driver that doesn't give a quarter. He will fight all the way, and you see him now. He's alongside Gamble as they're approaching the wall. Elfrens is taking the lead. He's okay. Looks like Slacky has now taken P6. Oh, and he's gone into the back of Elfrens. Oh, Slacky damages his wing. Front left goes into the rear tyre of Elfrens there. And that is not going to bode well for him, because he's got Gamble right up his exhaust pipe here. So this is not great for him at all. 3-second time penalty there for Elfrens. He's clearly feeling the pressure. You can see Slacky looming in on his rear mirror, but Slacky's going to have downforce issues as they're coming into turn 11 now. Is Gamble going to be able to make that move on Slacky as they come into that DRS? Shouldn't affect the straight line speed of that Renault too much, but it will make a difference when they come down to turn 12. So let's see now. But Slacky's maintaining it. He's maintaining his line. He's taking a nice easy pace, and he's forcing Gamble to just sit back a bit. You can see Savage now has closed in on Gamble, so Savage is now P8 and he's closing in on his teammate. There is no quarter given between these two, no team orders, so don't expect it to be pretty. So they're coming, oh dear, and look at this, Elfrans makes a mistake. This has all gone all over the place. Slacky has come into the pits, but now, oh my goodness, Savage has gone off the track. Gamble is now behind Elfrans. So Gamble takes the place from Savage as they come into the wall. Oh! Okay, they're coming around to turn 2 now. So Gamble is looking to take that P5 from Elfrans. Savage is looking to retain his P6 and also take that P5 from Elfrans. So this is going to prove very interesting. Miguel, 3-second time penalty there. Oh, look at this. They're coming around turn 9 into 10 now. Elfrans maintaining that lead, but Gamble and Savage fighting it out. They come to turn 11. Savage has got the advantage, I think. Oh, yes, he has. So Savage takes the place back from Gamble. But now, Gamble will have... Oh, no, Gamble hasn't got DRS. Savage has got the DRS. Let's see what he does as they come into turn 12. Look, he's going in deep now. Going to try and make it stick if he can, but he can't. See, this is the thing, it's all nice to brake late, take it deep, but if you don't have that exit line, and he's really pushing here against Elfrans. They're coming around turn 15 now. Look at this. This is wheel-to-wheel contact. Oh, and he's gone off. He's gone off around Hayden Hill. He's managed to maintain it, but he's now got the place. He's under challenge from his teammate Gamble. Gamble's coming into the pits. Yes, he is. So is the Toro Rosso. Looks like Miguel as well. Savage. Oh my goodness, what's going on there? Elfrans goes into Mercedes, spins out. Oh my goodness, 5-second stop go for Miguel for speeding the pit lane. But, oh my god, Elfrans maintains, he spins it, goes into the wall, but he's still going round. He has got no front wing at all. Not too sure what happened there, but clearly there was a collision there with Jerome. Don't know what happened. We'll have to see that under investigation from the stewards, undoubtedly. So, not too sure what happened there at all, but clearly a collision there between the Mercedes and the Force India, causing the Force India to spin out on that start-finish straight and completely lose his front wing. He has no front wing whatsoever. He's going to have to pit, and what a disaster for Elfrans. This is not what he wanted. He was doing so well, moving up the line there. What a shame, what a shame. Okay, so we're riding with Zwoof now. He's in the Red Bull, he's in P8. He's challenging Bass, who's now managed to move up to P7. He is still on that same set of Ultra Softs, and we are on lap 13. So what's he going to do? He's clearly under pressure here from Zwoof, and Zwoof has been behind him pretty much all the way as they've progressed through the field here. He has been behind him all the way. He was down to 8 tenths, he's now 5 tenths, but he's just not able to get past that Ferrari of Bass. But this is interesting because obviously Zwoof is on a set of Super Softs, Bass is on a set of Ultra Softs, so clearly Zwoof should have the advantage from the point of view of wear, so he should be able to stay out on track should Bass come in, but who can tell? We know that Bass can look after his tyres and certainly does do so, and does go quite deep on a number of races. He's clearly got wear on that front left inside, but he looks as if he's happy with it at this moment in time. Let's see what will happen. Stoner, he's still in first place. Bo for Ferrari, he's still in second. Nicky for Force India. Fantastic race for Nicky. P3, 3-second time penalty for Gamble. Buddha for Renault, he's now P4. He has dropped down to 28 seconds behind Nicky, but he's maintaining that P4 because Michael is 20 seconds behind him in the Mercedes. Then we have Bass, he's now P6, and he's still got Zwoof behind him, but Zwoof is looking to make a challenge, I think, as they come down to turn 12. No, decides better of it. Leaves it for another time. I've been behind him for the past 10 laps, so I might as well see where this takes me. And I do get the sensation here that Bass is really sort of opening up this field, and Savage has left the session. So don't know what happened there. Did Savage crash out? I think he may have done. We saw him incur a time penalty for exceeding track limits, and it could have been that he might have crashed out. Apologies for missing that, but clearly I'm watching this challenge here by Zwoof in the Red Bull, trying to see if he can take that place from Bass, but Bass now, he's only 4/10 off the back of Michael in P5 in a Mercedes. As they're coming round the wall. Oh, this is close. Coming round turn 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, yes indeed. Round turn 8 now. Coming up that hill. Turn 10, you're taking this blind. You need to know and have the confidence. So Bass clearly closing down, and Zwoof has dropped right back now. He's 3 seconds behind Bass. So Bass is clearly gunning here for this Mercedes as he opens up DRS. Oh, and Michael takes it on turn 12. Takes the line nicely. Bass did have him on DRS. He had overtaken him. But Michael had the better entry into turn 12. Oh, look at this. And that Ferrari driver, it's turn 15. He's really pushing now. As they come round 16. Round Hayden Hill. And there we see the tower. Drop down turn 19. Turn 20 now. Is he going to be able to make anything of it as they come up to the wall with that DRS? Let's see. Can he do it? He's certainly closing down. He closes him down certainly when he's going through this circuit of turns here. There was no doubt about it, but that Mercedes straight line speed compensates. So clearly this sector is a Ferrari one. So coming around 10 down to 11 now. Can he make the move on his second DRS to come around turn 11? Zwoof has closed down that gap now to 2 seconds. And we can see Bass running alongside, but Michael maintaining his line into turn 12. This is where he takes him. He's got that better cornering. Oh, and he's gone off the track. He slides off the track, turn 12. Bass has moved up now. Bass has taken 5th place from Michael. Michael made a mistake. Bass took advantage of it. That's the name of the game as he comes round 15 now. But now he's going to be under pressure pretty soon from Zwoof, who's currently P7. So Zwoof will be closing in on the back of Michael, undoubtedly. But we've got 20 seconds now between Bass and Buddha. They're both on a set of Ultrasofts. Buddha has just pitted. So Bass is coming round turn 20 now. He will take P4 from Buddha, who's gone onto a set of Super Softs. But Bass is still on that same set of Ultra Softs. So he hasn't pitted yet, and this is lap 16. He's really going to need to put pedal to the metal. Oh, look at this! And Buddha just manages to get out in front of him. What a fantastic move! That was so close. I was confident that Buddha had lost that 4th place to Bass, but he just made it out of the pit lane into the wall and managed to maintain that 4th place. Bass is now going to have to chase him down and take that place from him, not in the pits, but on this track. Is he going to be able to do it? Well, we will soon find out. Is he coming to turn 11 now? He's got DRS on this Renault, but remember, he's got Michael right up behind him. He will also have DRS. Zwoof has also closed down the gap, so he will have DRS on Michael. Okay, let's see what happens. No DRS for the Renault driver as they come down to turn 12. Yes, Bass takes the place. He makes it look easy. I assure you, it isn't. But Buddha's fighting back into turn 13. Round 14 now, but Michael's closing down. But Zwoof is also closing in on Michael in the Mercedes as they're coming round turn 15 now. Nicely done by both Ferrari and Renault. Mercedes coming round 16. Round Hayden Hill turn. Dropping down to turn 19 now. As they come into the start-finish straight. Buddha will have DRS. Oh, he's gone off track there. He's got to have DRS on this Bass, on the Ferrari. Bass has moved up to 4th place. But he still needs to pit. And there's nothing in it. If he pits, he's undoubtedly going to drop down to probably P12. He needs to stay out there for as long as he possibly can, but how long can he stay out there? We can see the wear on that front inside left. 3-second time penalty for Bass. Zwoof also a 3-second time penalty. So, Bass incurs a time penalty. He's starting to feel the wear. If we look at also, let's see if we can get any telemetry data on here that might help us out. Nothing really there that's going to help us too much. Grim picks up a 3-second time penalty now. Look at this though, this fight in the background here for P6 and 7 between Jerome, Michael. Oh, and Michael takes the place from Zwoof in the Red Bull as they were coming round turn 12 there. So Michael, 6th place. Zwoof had to take the place from him, but Michael takes it back. But now Zwoof has taken 6th place back. He now spins out. Michael takes it back, but Jerome is now fighting as they come into turn 16 with that Red Bull of Zwoof for that 7th place. So they're coming round Hayden Hill. Can he make it stick? Jerome now coming into the final turn of lap 18. Oh, and he goes off track there, but he does have DRS. Bass has come into the pits, so Bass has pitted. Let's see where he comes out. P10. It will be P10. I thought P12, but that's good. He's come out P10, but not so good for him. He has gone on to a set of super softs. So that's what I expected, and I expect him to probably go quite deep with these, probably into the high 40s. So 3-second time penalty for Martin, so keep an eye on Bass. He is P10, he is on super softs, but I would expect him to go at least 20 odd laps on these. He's managed 18 laps on the ultra softs, so let's see, maybe he might even try and see if he can get through to the end of the race on these. Slacky is P9, and 1:38 Bo sets the fastest time provisionally of this race. But let's run through the runners and riders. Savage has unfortunately DNF'd. Peter F1 in the Williams is currently P16. Phenomenon in the Sauber is just coming into the pits. He will be taking P16 as Peter moves up to P15 in the Williams. Grim in the Haas is P14. Elfrans in the Force India is doing so well. Had that collision which completely wiped him out with one of the Mercedes drivers on that start-finish straight, spun him out, took his nose off. He had to come into the pits, and that has totally ruined his race. But he's on a set of Ultrasofts, so he's looking to try and get through this field. Don't know if that was a good call. Probably Supersofts would have been a better call for him, but still, let's see how he does. Miguel for Toro Rosso is currently P12. Gamble, the remaining McLaren driver, is P11. Bass is currently P10, but remember, he's only just pitted and he's gone on to set of super softs. He pitted at the end of lap 18 from 18 laps on a set of ultra softs. So let's keep an eye on him. I'm sure we'll see him moving up the field. Slacky for Renault is currently P9. Martin, BMW for Toro Rosso is P8. Swoof for Red Bull. We just catch him as he has gone into the wall and taken out his front right. So Zwoof for Red Bull is out. He is DNF. So Bass now is in 9th place. Slacky is in 8th for Renault. Martin is in 7th. Jerome for Mercedes is in P6, and he's fighting it out with his teammate Michael. Only 4/10 in it as they come round turn 11 into the second DRS zone, or first, whichever way you want to look at it. As they come into that, he's got DRS on his teammate as they're coming down to turn 12. Jerome takes the place, but Jerome, is he going to take it as they come into turn 13? And Jerome takes it. Yes, Jerome takes P5 from Michael. So Jerome now for Mercedes moves on to P5, but I'm sure he's going to be challenged by his teammate as they come round turn 16. Buddha for Renault is currently P4. Nicky for Force India is currently P3. What a great show from Force India and Nicky there. Bo for Ferrari is P2. And Stoner for Haas is our race leader from the start. So let's see what's going to happen here between these Mercedes drivers as they're coming into lap 21, or 20, sorry. And Jerome hitting the wall now. Michael just in behind him, only 3/10 in it. As they come around this circuit of turns, 3, 4, 5. Very tricky, you've got to get it lined up right. If you don't get it right, you soon find out, you go flying off. Turn 8 now, as they come uphill, and then you drop into turn 10. This is totally blind when you're going into this corner here, and when you drop down as well. So it's really a question of knowing that track and having ultimate faith. Come down now to the almost hairpin of turn 11, and they'll take them onto the first DRS contact zone, and Jerome slightly sliding around there. His teammate will have DRS on him, but equally Martin in the Toro Rosso will have DRS on the Mercedes as well. So as they come into turn 12 now, so a real fight going on here for 5, 6 and 7. We always tend to see a good fight round about this sort of front end midfield, if you like. Oh, and Jerome sliding it. So you had the exit at turn 12 there, turn 15, sorry, into Hayden Hill, down to turn 19. Now, what we need to see, yep, I thought so, and Michael goes into the pits. So Michael is pitting. I think that is actually his first pit stop. Yes, it is. So everybody has now pitted. We see a mix of tyres. Front runners all on the super softs, so they're going to be looking to go into a longer stint, probably round about the mid-30s. Although that said, I do expect Bass to go deeper in. He did come in on lap 18 on those ultra softs, so he came in a lot later. And the Stoner sets the provisional fastest time, 1:33.6. No, sorry, 1:38.6. I thought I'd better check that. I thought that was a bit fast. So 1:38.6 from Stoner there. He's our race leader at this moment in time. We haven't seen too much of him because the action has been behind him, and we can see Martin now making that move on Jerome into turn 12. Oh, is he going to make it stick? But look at this, Slacky, he's just in the background there looming, trying to see if he can pick up the pieces if something goes wrong here between these two. They're coming now round turn 15. Oh, tricky. Slacky's really closing down now on the back of that Toro Rosso. They're coming around Hayden Hill. 3-second time penalty there, didn't see who that was for, unfortunately. And you can see Bass in the background there. He's already up to P8. Remember, came out behind the Renault of Buddha. Buddha has moved up to P4, but he couldn't make his stick. He had to pit, drop back to P10. He's now P8, but he's closing in on the back of that Renault there, as Martin is also closing in on the Mercedes. So the real fight going on here between 6, 7 and 8. Bass soon they're going to be closing down on Slacky, but Jerome is staying ahead of that pack. Coming to the first DRS as they come round now. Let's see what's going to happen, because they're all going to have DRS apart from Jerome. So Martin's got DRS, Slacky's got DRS, and Bass has got DRS. So what's going to happen here as they come into turn 12? You can see Slacky looking to make the move. Oh, look at this on that Toro Rosso in 13. But look, Bass is moving, looming in the background here. Oh, and the Toro Rosso makes a mistake. Slacky takes the place. Bass also takes the place. Bass now moves up into 7th place. Martin has dropped back into 8. Slacky takes 6. They're coming around Hayden Hill. And they're coming round. Last turn now, lap 23. DRS for Ferrari, DRS for Renault. What can they do? They certainly can't challenge for P5 just yet. But Bass takes P6 from Slacky on the wall, and also Martin takes the place back from Slacky. So Martin moves up to P7, Slacky drops back to P8. But Bass is now up to P6. 6 laps. He's moved up 4 places. 3-second time penalty for Gamble. Gamble, the remaining McLaren driver, still battling out there in P9. Slacky is looking to close down Michael. 3-second time penalty, Mercedes. Bigella has left the session, so not too sure what happened there. He's in the pits, he's coming out now. Don't know if he's dropped out. Let's see what's happening with the Toro Rosso driver of Miguel here. He's just coming out of the pits now. Keep an eye on that. He may be having a pit stop himself. So let's run through our runners and riders. Savage, DNF for McLaren. Zwoof, DNF for Red Bull. Peter, F1 for Williams, is currently P15. Phenomenon for Sauber is P14, or P13 as Grimm is now pitted. Grimm for Haas will be taking P15. Phenomenon P13. Miguel for Toro Rosso is currently P12. Elfrans is currently P11. I don't think that ultra soft gamble is paying off too well for him. He was much further ahead earlier. He had a collision with one of the Mercedes on the start-finish straight, knocked him right back. Michael in the Mercedes is now P10. Gamble for McLaren is P9. Slacky is P8 for Renault. Martin for Toro Rosso has taken that place from him earlier. He is now P7. Jerome for Mercedes is P6. Bass for Ferrari has now moved up to P5, taking that 5th place from Jerome in the Mercedes. Remember, he came out start of lap 19 in 10th place. So let's see what happens. Buddha is currently in 4th place for Renault. He's on a set of super softs, but he pitted quite early. I'm not too sure how those are looking for him. Let's try and see if we can get an angle on that. Nicky, what a race from Nicky. He's now come into the pits. He's a full 40 seconds ahead of Buddha, so I expect him to be coming out ahead of that Renault driver. But the question is now, is what is he going to go on to? And he's going on to another set of super softs. So he's done a stint on the ultra softs, he's gone on to the super softs. He's also got a time penalty by the looks of it. Yes, he has. So Nicky's second pit stop there. He's gone on to a set of super softs. Started on the ultras, saw him through, went on to the super softs. He's now coming back out. He is still P3, But let's see how much of a gap. He was 40 seconds ahead of Buddha, and that will also give us a good indication of what the pit window is. So pit window we're probably looking is around about 25 seconds. Probably more actually. Say 27 seconds, but 25 to 27 seconds is the pit window. Nicky is still in P3, and what a great race. Michael has left the session. Not too sure what's happened there with Michael. Oh, I think he was in the pits there. He's just coming out now. Maybe he's just taking a pit stop himself. So Stoner is in first place for Haas, and he has maintained that lead throughout this race. We're nearly halfway through, and what a job he has done. He's maintained that gap as well to Bo. I don't think I've seen it drop under 2.5 seconds, other than obviously the beginning few laps. So Bo for Ferrari is in second place. Nicky for Force India, as I said earlier, is in third place. Buddha for Renault is fourth. Bass for Ferrari is moving up the field. He's now P5. Slacky is P7. Martin here is in P6, and we saw a race or a bit of a battle going on between these guys earlier, and also Jerome. But Jerome is now dropped back to 9th place as he came in the pits. And Gamble, and again he's gone on to another set of ultra soft, so he's looking to do an ultra soft, super soft stint. Interesting. I think the super soft, ultra soft, super soft was the better way to go, and we can certainly see the front runners are on the super softs. Miguel, oh, Grim has just picked up a 3-second time penalty. Miguel for Toro Rosso 10. Elfrins still down there in P11. I do feel for him. He was having such a fantastic race. Phenomenon for Sauber is P12. Grim for Haas. Just watching him there on the back of Slacky. I didn't think he was closing on him, but obviously he's looking to unlap himself. Hopefully, let's see what he can do as they come up to the wall here. This is to unlap himself from Buddha, I think that is. Yeah, it is. Oh no, it wasn't, it was Slacky. Yeah, it's Slacky, so he needs to unlap himself. So it's all settled down a bit here, but now how is this going to affect the championship? Stoner will be picking up obviously the full win as long as he maintains his place, and that should see him on 265 points. Bo will be coming in second. He's currently third in the championship, so he'd be picking up 226, so he'd still maintain third place even if Bass doesn't get any points. And Bass is still in the points, but I think he'd only be picking up maybe 10 points, so that would put him on 239, so he'd still be 26 points behind. So that would be a race behind Stoner, and Stoner is looking to dominate this championship at this moment in time, and I think this could be the make or break of it, because if Stoner maintains his place and Bass maintains his place, then that's going to be one full win ahead, and we only have Mexico, Brazil and Abu Dhabi to go. So only 75 points after this. Maximum points will be a 5-second stop go for Slacky for speeding in the pit lane there. He's not going to be happy with that. Still, it's going to mean that he's going to lose. It's probably going to drop down to 9th place. So he's not going to be too happy with that. So here we are now. That gap, Stoner to Bo, still just over 2.5 seconds. Nicky, what a fantastic race from Nicky. I mean, this guy has really done very, very well. And let's have a look at how many position changes he's got. He's only moved up 1 place, but this is on his qualification. He dominated during that wet qualification. He also managed to get some great time for the final Q3, getting him into 4th place on the grid, and he's maintained it. He has done a really great race, so I really tip my hat to him. I think he's done phenomenally well in the Force India there, and great points for Force India. They'd be picking up 22 points, so that would help him out a great deal. And Nicky at this moment in time is currently P13 with 37 points, so I think That would Jerome. They're moving very, very close to P12. So great points to be picked up from him. But Buddha from Renault as well. He's put in a great race. He's not been doing too well during the earlier part of these races, during the sessions. Hasn't really shown, I think, his full worth, but certainly doing so in this race, maintaining that P4 in the Renault there. So again, great point to be picked up for him. He is currently at this moment in time in P11, and he's 20 points behind his teammates, so that would certainly help a great deal into biting into that gap between himself and Slacky. Slacky's still in the points, but he'd only pick up 2 points. Grim, 3-second time penalty. So Buddha's moved up 3 places. He was in P7, he's gone to P4. Nicky was in P4, he's gone up to P3. Losers, well, Bass is currently in P5. He did start this race in P3. Didn't have the best of starts, dropped right down the back of the field, and I think pretty much had to change his whole race outlook and perspective there. So what a great result. Martin, he's moved up 5 places. Phenomenal, he's moved up 5 places. Yes, we have had 3 DNFs, but still a great move from all those guys. So this really has been an amazing race, and wow, qualification, we saw it, we've seen it certainly during the earlier parts of this race. Yes, we have settled down a bit now, but look, Buddha is starting to close in on the back of Bass. Now, both these drivers are on the Super Softs, however, Buddha is on a older set of Super Softs, so he should have obviously more wear, less grip on those tyres, but he is challenging for that P4 for Bass. So he's got DRS on Bass as they're coming up that hill towards the wall. Is he going to be able to make it stick as they come to the wall? Let's see, let's watch. Ooh. Certainly closing down on him. Coming through these turns now. Just watch these drivers through here, because this is really amazing high speed cornering. This is what I'm saying, turn 10, look, completely blind as you come over the crest of that hill there. Total faith of knowing the track and where you're looking to go. You point the car in the right direction and away it is. So here we are now, lap 30 of 56. We've seen a few changes on the start of this race. We've seen a few surprises at the front of this race, and also some that we expected. 3-second time penalty for Phenomenon there. But Nicky, he has dropped down. He's still in P3, but he's dropped down quite considerably from the start of this race. And we can see he's now 50 seconds behind Bo. It was around about 20-25 seconds at one point in the start races, was around about 5 seconds. So clearly Stoner and Bo are dominating on this race and setting the fastest times as well. Let's have a quick look here. Fastest lap provisionally set by Stoner. That was a few laps ago, 1:38.6. So they've clearly settled, and I think they're probably going on to leaner mix at this moment in time, just to see them through the middle stint of this race. And I think we're going to see this come very much alive within the next 5 laps or so, because I would be expecting pit windows to start coming in. And here we have already Jerome. He's coming into the pit on the old softs, and he's going to be going on to a set of super softs. There we go, super softs coming on. So this will now see him till the end of the race. 25 laps to go. So that's our first pit. I don't expect Bass to come in. As I said earlier, he was on the old softs, went to lap 18 on those. So I'm expecting Bass to probably come in about another 10 laps or so. But don't take me as gospel on that. I make more mistakes than most, so let's see what happens. As he comes around turn 13, 3-second time penalty for Jerome there, and quite a number of time penalties being incurred by a number of drivers in this race. And remember, it's 3 seconds every time. We've also seen a number of stop goes, in particular for speeding in the pit lane. and this will have a drastic result at the end of the race, or potentially. So keep an eye on that. Let's see what happens here. And Buddha isn't really able to eat into that gap. He did come very, very close to Bass, but now he's dropped back. Gamble is the next behind him. Not too much of a gap there. As I say, expect these drivers to start pitting around about lap 34, 35. And then, oh, look at this. Exceeding track limits there. There's going to be a few penalties there. So at this moment in time, pretty even gaps. Looks like Phenomenon though is starting to challenge on Elfrans. Phenomenon's got DRS as they come down now into turn 11. He will have that. There we go. So he's going to look to be challenging Elfrans as they come into turn 12. You see him nice and tight in behind there. Elfrans takes the turn neatly. Phenomenon is on a set of ultra softs, so he does have that advantage, and I'm pretty sure they're a fresh set as ultra softs as well. Let's have a quick look. No, they're not so. Thought he'd only just pitted on those, but he hasn't. So he's going to be challenging. He's pushing here. He's coming to turn 20. Oh, riding that curb there. He's clearly got a lot of wear on those ultra softs, but he wants to take that to 10th place. He's on lap 32. Oh, nicely down round turn 1 there. Oh, it goes over on turn 3. Oh, and this is what I was saying earlier, you've got to get it lined up to begin with. You get one fraction wrong and it totally mucks up that set of corners for you. So unfortunately, Phenomenon suffering there. 3-second time penalty for Gamble, and as I say, these are adding up, these time penalties. Phenomenon still 6/10, 8/10 now off the back of Elfrans, so he will have DRS again. There you see it, nicely open up. As it starts to close down. Elfrans harvesting there. Oh, look at this, deep into turn 12. Oh, no. Too deep. Oh, that was a shame. I mean, he was certainly going for it. It's only a heroic effort, but unfortunately going too deep, and that is not going to be doing his ultra softs any favours whatsoever. We can see Grim in the Haas closing down behind them now as they're coming up to turn 15. Grim not having the best of races. Grim's only just recently moved from Red Bull to Haas. It's only his second race with Haas as he comes into the start-finish straight. So I think it's still very much getting to grips with the car and the team. As he comes up to the wall, he's challenging Phenomenon. Can he do it? Can he do it? Oh, it's close, and he spins out. Oh, manages to keep it though, but doesn't take that place. And he's got a 3-second time penalty for the effort. He is not going to be happy bunny with that, but still, there you go. He's closing down on this Sauber. He certainly wants to take that P10. They're valuable points. It may only be a couple of points. In fact, it's only 1 point actually, I think P10. But it's still a point. And right now, I think that Grim would be happy to take whatever he can. So he's got DRS, but also Phenomenon has DRS on Elfrans. Oh, and he locks up again into turn 12. And he spun it out. He spun it out. Oh, Has he damaged his car? Oh, he spun it out on turn 12, went to brake deep again, locked up, lost it on the exit. Very, very lucky he didn't wipe out the front end of that car, because that could have easily have been a DNF there for him. Oh, look at this, dirty tyres. Oh, come on, get it together, Phenomenon. You've lost your places, mate. There's nothing you can do about that. Just take it easy now. Take it easy. Nurse it into those pits. He's trying to get the grass off those tyres. Staying out the way. Oh dear. That is not what he wanted at all. He comes round Hayden Hill now. Are we going to see him pit on this or not? Yeah. Phenomenal comes into the pits. Peter's in the pits. So let's have a look now back at the main part of the field. Slacky is P7. Martin for Toro Rosso is P6. Buddha is P5. He has closed that gap to Bass in P4 quite considerably. So clearly those tyres, he's coming alive for him now. Nicky maintains P3, although he has dropped back somewhat to Bo. Oh no, sorry, he's gained, actually, I do apologise. He's actually gained 18 seconds, so he's clearly opened up as well. So it looks like the Super Softs are hitting their peak window. That means they'll be dropping off pretty soon. I said around about lap 34, 35, we'd see them coming into pit, or the majority of the field. But yet again, I think I am proved wrong. We will see. Could be a bit later. I'm certainly expecting Bass to go deeper, probably around about early to mid 40s. He might even try and push it to the end. Who knows? We will find out. He certainly needs those points. But he is now in a pit window. He's got 24 seconds. I calculate the pit is around about 25 to 27 seconds. So he needs to eke out that gap. We saw him earlier when he pitted fight with the Renault driver Buddha, and Buddha came out just ahead of him. And it was so close. I thought he'd lost it. And that again was for P5. So let's see. When he pitted, he did pit from P5, came out P10. He's worked his way back up again now to P4. He's got ahead of Buddha. Buddha is 11 seconds behind him. So if he does pit, he's going to lose it. He is 24 seconds behind Nicky. So that's the pit window. I apologise, that I should have been looking at is if Nicky comes in, Bass will take third place from him. So it's all a question now of Nicky in that Force India. He could potentially lose that podium place now, because he's going to be looking to pit. But Bass, I think, is going to be going deeper. But Nicky did pit quite late, so he should be on a fresher set of Super Softs. So let's watch that closely, because this is undoubtedly going to come into play. We've only got 19 laps to go now, so we're in the final third of this race. And what a race it has been for F1 tonight. 2017 season 3, race 18, Circuit de las Americas. Wow, yeah, we've had a little bit of a quiet sort of mid race, but the start of this race was absolutely amazing. We saw the McLaren drivers, who didn't do well during qualifying, storm through the field, but unfortunately they have come a cropper again. We've seen Savage, unfortunately, DNF, Zwoof for Red Bull, DNF, Michael for Mercedes, DNF, Jerome also for Mercedes, DNF. So unfortunately we have Red Bull out, and we have Mercedes out, and we have half of McLaren out. But Stoner, our race leader from the start, has driven an amazing race. We haven't seen much of him. There's been little point, in all sincerity, because he has just maintained that lead, and what a great result from him. Fantastic qualifying. We had a wet qualifying Q1, Q2, dry in Q3, but he kept putting the pressure. Yes, he did lose that first place, I think, initially, if I remember correctly, to Bo, but, or did he? No, he didn't. Let's have a look. No, he didn't. He did have Prism Lace because he got a 133.8. I do apologise. So, yeah, we've seen him do that. He's maintained his position throughout this race. It's been no less than about 2.5 seconds. It's now 3.3 seconds to Bo. Nicky, great race from the Force India driver here, as he just comes around the AI there of Miguel. He's taken 3rd place, and what a great race from him for Force India. Some much valued points for the championship, but also for the team or constructors championship. So he's going to be very happy with that. Let's hope he maintains that place. Bass, well, he hasn't had the greatest races. He has had a few challenges. He's dropped back the field, didn't really have the start he was looking for, but dropped right down to the end. He managed to claw his way through the field. He then had a challenge when he went into the pits with Buddha, who's now dropped down to 7th place. I think he's probably pitted, not too sure what's happened there. I have to check into that. Martin has moved up to 5th place for Toro Rosso. Slacky is now 6th place for Renault, and indeed, I'm pretty sure that Buddha has actually pitted. Yes, he has. So that's what that was there, or he had an issue. We'll soon find out. So Buddha is now in 7th place. Gamble for McLaren is in 8th place. Grimm for Haas has moved up to 9th place, so he's getting those points. He took the place from Elfrans. He's currently in 10th place. Miguel for Toro Rosso is 11th. Peter for Williams is in 12th place. And Phenomenon for Sauber is in 13th place. We saw some great racing from Phenomenon earlier. Great racer. So let's hope he can move up the field and get into that P10 and get some value points. Stoner's just set the fastest provisional time, 1:37.2, so they're starting to come alive now. We're on lap 39 of 56, 16 laps to go. What is going to happen? Phenomenon just picks up a 3-second time penalty. Elfrans is now coming into the pits. So Elfrans is now pitting from those super softs. He had a bit of a disaster, unfortunately, on the start-finish straight. Bit of a collision with one of the Mercedes, spun him out into the barriers, lost his nose, had to go round before he could pit. Really suffered there because he was moving up, I think he moved up to P5, so he had done fantastically well. But unfortunately, collision occurred. It was a racing incident, I believe, but I'm sure the stewards will look into it. And he suffered from that. He went on to a set of Ultra Softs, and it looks like he's going on to another set. He's still on those Ultra Softs, but haven't really helped him a great deal. There we have Grimm, as I said, he's in P9. Gamble for McLaren, remaining McLaren driver, he's P8, settled down a bit now, concentrating on the race. Buddha for Renault, he's dropped down to P7, was P4. It's clearly said, oh, and Slacky goes off the track there. Don't think he wanted to do that. That was on the exit of turn 15 there. He's got dirty tyres, so he's going to have to really take care as he comes around Hayden Hill. But this has given Buddha a chance to move in front of him. So Buddha, Stoner now set fastest time again, 1:36. So we're starting to see these fast times coming in. So Buddha now P6. Martin for Toro Rosso P5. Bass still P4. Nicky can now pit. He's just in that window if he needs to and maintain that 3rd place. But equally, Bass can pit and maintain that 4th place. So Bass is looking good. I said I'd probably be looking to go into the 40s on these super softs, but all the other drivers pitted earlier, they're also still on their super softs. So what's going to happen here? Everyone's done 2 stops, some 3. So who's going to come in. We've got 16 laps to go. Are they going to try and go to the end of this race? Or, oh yes, and Bass comes in. Oh, I called one right. Well, I said lap 40 something. So in comes Bass, and I am certain we're going to see him go onto a set of Ultra Softs now. No, he's going to a set of Super Softs. My error. Well, there you go. So Bass now comes out on a fresh set of Super Softs. Miguel, who's currently in 5th place, he's just coming round turn 20 now. Bass is exiting, so he maintains that 4th place. This now does mean that Nicky can safely pit and still maintain that 3rd place. Slacky just gets a 3-second time penalty for Renault. So Nicky is looking good in that Force India for P3. Bo certainly looking good for P2. He will pick up some valuable points. It will still won't push him into 2nd place on the Drivers' Championship. His teammate Bass will still be a few points ahead of him. But Stoner, well, Stoner is really going to dominate here. Just trying to see what he's going to pick up. So 22, so that's 249,251, 14 points. If we maintain these positions, will be the difference between Stoner and Bass for the championship. Stoner being ahead by 14 points over Bass in 2nd place if we keep these positions. And I say that, yes, obviously these positions have been here more or less throughout the race, but anything can happen. We've only got 15 laps to go. We've seen it happen before. All it takes is one mistake, one slip. It can happen. So let's keep an eye on this. This is certainly worth watching. Bo's 6 seconds now behind Nicky, 43, so he can pit. Bass is 4, Martin in that Toro Rosso. What a great show from Martin. I mean, Martin here in the Toro Rosso, he's a great driver. He's done 2 stops. I'm just trying to see his position change here. So Martin's moved up 8 places, so fantastic job there from the Toro Rosso driver. Really, really great. 8 places, started in P13, and look at this, he's up to P5. So excellent, really, really good result for him. I'm sure he's going to be happy with that. He's got every opportunity, certainly a closing down that gap to Bass, and as I said, you never know what can happen. Buddha is closing in behind Martin at this moment in time. He's 1.5 seconds off, but that gap, he's slowly eking into it, biting into it. So I think a couple more laps and we could probably see him challenging for that P5. It certainly was his position throughout this race. That's where he's been. So I'm sure he's going to be looking to take that back and pick up those points as well. Certainly valuable for him in his championship. It won't push him ahead of his teammate. His teammate is currently 10th in the championship, but it will push him a lot closer, and he'll certainly be challenging very, very soon for that 10th place. So we're coming up now. Lap 44. Let's ride with our race leader Stoner. Comes around Hayden Hill. 3-second time penalty for Grim. Oh no, sorry, he's just going through the S-bends. Approaching turn 9 into 8. Round 10 lap blind turn. Sweeping down. So DRS point just there. 3-second time penalty for Gamble for McLaren. So our race leader, lap 43, 13 laps to go. He's maintained this lead all the way through. He's now got a 7-second gap to second place Bo in the Ferrari, and he is just eating away at that gap now. He's put fastest lap by a fastest lap down. 136.9, Bo 137.4. So he's 0.5, half a second faster on these laps than the Ferrari driver of Bo. And he is just storming it, absolutely storming it. Phenomenal, 3-second time penalty. Oh, look at that, right off the track there. I think he was trying to make space for the coming race leader and unfortunately lost control. 3-second time penalty for Buddha as well now. And Buddha's fighting here with Martin. As I said, he's closing the gap down. Clearly, it all went a bit Pete-tong for them as they were coming out of lap 20. Here we go, the wall, and look at this. You can see why it's called the wall when you take this driver's perspective. Because it is just this huge wall looming in front of you. Buddha is really putting the pressure on now. Ooh, really laying into him, and he's so close behind. He's, remember, we're coming up to DRS after turn 11. So the Renault driver Buddha will have DRS on that Toro Rosso Martin, sorry. So they're coming to turn 12 now. What's going to happen? Is he going to take the inside? Ooh, not quite. Not quite. He's certainly putting the pressure down. He wants that 5th place back. And Grimm has left the session. Oh, and Grimm in the Haas. Turn 10, wipes out. Grimm, now a victim of this Circuit de las Americas. Our 5th this evening. Jerome, Michael for Mercedes, DNF, Zwoof for Red Bull, DNF, his former teammate, Savage for McLaren, DNF. And now Grimm as well. And Elfren, he's really suffering under these super softs, I think. He doesn't want to pit. He hasn't quite got the window on Peter, but I think he's going to have to pit pretty soon. Buddha comes into the pits now. Martin comes into the pits. Gamble comes into the pits. Okay, so I called the pit stops about 10 laps too early, but there we have it. Everyone's coming in the pits now. Buddha going on to a set of softs. Interesting. Gamble on a set of super softs. So pit windows have just happened. So here we go. What is going to happen now? Well, take a couple of laps to settle down and then we will see where we are. Nicky's in the pits as well now. He's on a set of ultra softs. And he had a safe gap there to Bass, so he maintains that 3rd place. Bass coming in the pits as well, so Bass taking advantage. He's clearly settling for that 4th place. But what is Bass going to go on to? He's going on to a set of ultra softs. So no, Bo's when I came in earlier. Bass I did call right round about lap 45. It was Bo that came in earlier. No, Bass. Oh, I got confused now. Anyway, here we are. Bass is now coming out. It was Bass that I was referring to earlier. So he did come in lap 45 and go onto that set of ultra softs. Got a bit confused with Bo there. Thought that was a bit odd going onto sets of super softs. So here we have Bass now on the ultra softs. Nicky is also on a set of ultra softs. So this is going to be interesting. We've got 11 laps to go. 47 seconds. Nicky to Bass to Bo, but Bo is now pitted. And Bo is also going onto a set of ultra softs. Okay, I'm not totally mad. So Bo goes on to a set of ultra softs. Nikki is also on a set of ultra softs. She's just coming around turn 19 now into turn 20. Bo's just coming out, so let's see what the gap is. This is going to be interesting. Bass is still 40 seconds to Nikki, but Nikki is only 11 seconds to Bo. Ooh, okay. We've got 10 laps to go. I wouldn't expect Bo to slow down with that set of ultra softs. Oh, we've got safety car out. Okay, safety car is out. I'm not too sure if that was to do with the incident with Grim on turn 10 there, but safety car is out. So we have safety car, lap 46. Oh, okay, this is really going to mix it up now, because now this gives the opportunity for Bo to close in to Stoner and Nikki to close into Bo and Bass as well. Well, I don't know how much of a... Well, I think Bass will be able to close in right down behind them, because we're only coming up to turn 12 now. So we should see the field start lining up line astern. This is really, really going to mix it up now. And what a finish. What a final quarter of race we're going to have once that safety car goes in. Now, I would expect the safety car, he came out on lap 46, so he's undoubtedly not going to go in before lap 47 or the end of lap 47. So let's see. He should do at least one, well, he has to do one full lap. Come in on the second lap. So they're coming round Hayden Hill now. Down to turn 19, and this has backed everyone. Oh dear, what was happening there? Williams driver, not too sure what was happening there. And this has backed everybody up. Yep, we're starting lap 47 now under the safety car. So safety car should come in at the lap of 47 at the end of. That would then release, and we can see the Williams driver going there because he's effectively unlapping himself. So that's why he was able to overtake the safety car there. So it's given him the opportunity to unlap himself. But look at this. This is now backing up the field. Bass is now only 7 seconds behind, so he will definitely catch up with this pack before long. Martin, not too sure. He might possibly close in towards the end of this lap. So the start of lap 48. So everyone else is still very, very much racing behind. So Gamble is now moved up into 6th place. Slacky is 7, Buddha is 8, Elfrans is 9, Peter is 10, Phenomenon is 11. And that was who we saw unlapping himself, was Peter there. Phenomenon, I think, still behind this pack. And Miguel is there. Unfortunately, AI, he lost connection, but his AI is still running. So, okay. Stoner, our race leader, will be starting lap 48 with Bo in Ferrari right behind him, Nicky in the Force India behind him, and indeed Bass, our second Ferrari driver and currently second in the championship, is now caught up as well. So this is going to be very, very interesting indeed between these 4 drivers for these final 8 laps. So this more than compensates for the quiet time we had and the settled time during the middle of this race, and or second, third effectively. This is really, really going to mix things up, and anything could happen. I said it earlier. I stick by my words. Anything can happen. Watch this space. Watch this start. It's all going to be down to Stoner. He's starting to back them up now. Safety car is coming in. They are released. He's backing them up. And there he goes. He's releasing it now. Here we go. Start of lap 48. Restart effectively, as far as I'm concerned. Stoner getting the wall. Bo right in behind him there. Nicky in behind Bo. Bass closing in on Nicky. He's 6/10 behind him. About a second gap. Bo is only 1-2 behind Stoner. This is going to be phenomenal end to this race. F1 tonight, 2017, Season 3, Race 18, Circuit de las Americas. What a race we have seen. We've seen a phenomenal start to this race, we've seen a quiet middle to this race, and now we are seeing an amazing end to this race. The final 8 laps. We had a safety car come out lap 46. It kept them all out, it backed them up, it gave Bass the opportunity to close down on that 3rd place of Nicky. It's given Nicky the opportunity to close down on that 2nd place of Bo. And it's given Bo the opportunity, which he has not had throughout this race, to close down on that Haas of Stoner. What is going to happen? 7 laps. It will be very soon. Bo 4/10 off. We've got the DRS now. Has he got DRS active? Not yet. It will be on the next lap. But look at this. He's already challenging as they come to the wall. He wants that 1st place. But equally, Bass wants to take that podium. Podium points, podium recognition. He wants to take this 3rd place from Nicky in the Force India. This is where the race comes alive. Nicky is now fighting, and he's fighting hard to maintain that podium place. 3-second time penalty for Gamble, and you can see they're under pressure. Stoner is on the super softs. Remember, Bo is on a set of ultra softs, fresh ultra softs. This couldn't have come at a worse time for Stoner. Nicky, he's on a set of ultra softs, but so is Bass. What is going to happen here? Coming round turn 12 now. Bass closing down on Nicky. Bo closing down on Stoner, 5/10. Both Ferrari drivers off the back of their opponents for 1st and 3rd place. Peter has retired from the session. Not too sure what's happened there. He's crashed out. So he's crashed out through the turns of 3, 4 and 5. So unfortunate there. Another DNF, number 6 for the Williams driver there of this race. We're riding with Bo now as they're coming to the wall. Currently 2nd place. He has to take this 1st place from Stoner, but Stoner is holding him off as they're coming into lap 50, or they are in lap 50. Nicky equally, he's holding off Bass. He wants to keep that podium place. Bass wants it from him, but Nicky isn't going to give it easily. This really is a battle royale that we are seeing here this evening at the closing stages of this Circuit de las Americas F1 Tonight 2017 Season 3 event. This is what we want to see. This is the challenges that we want to see. And we can see now Bo is really, he is literally, you couldn't get half a cigarette paper between these guys. This is amazing. Look at this into turn 12. Is he going to take the place from Stoner? Oh my God, he does! Ferrari Bo takes 1st place from Stoner as they were coming into turn 12 on the exit. And this is amazing. He didn't have a chance throughout this race. The safety car came out lap 46, and it has given him the opportunity to take that 1st place, which Stoner has had throughout this race. My God, we've only got 6 laps to go, but Stoner isn't going to leave it at this. You can rest assured of that. And he just gets a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Phenomenon also. He is pushing. He is not going to let Bo take this 1st place from him, but this gap is starting to eat away now. What is Stoner going to do? He has to respond. He has to put pedal to the metal, but he's got the super softs on. Bo is on a set of ultra softs. He thought he'd be safe on those set of super softs. I questioned it when he put them on. He had the opportunity to go ultra soft. He decided to go super soft. This now is going to really ruin his day. Yes, he will get a podium finish, but that isn't what he was looking for. Bo eking out that gap slowly but surely. But Stoner does have DRS on him now. Can he make the same move that Bo made him in on that turn 12? What can he do? Nicky's coming up behind him as well now. Stoner's just too far off. He can't close it in. He's not going to be able to do it. Oh, God, I feel for him now, but what can you do? He should have gone on to those ultra softs. Turn 15 now, and that gap is opening up to a full second now. Nicky still under pressure from Bass, but he's holding him off. Bass just under a second behind Nicky. He's now over there hitting DRS. I don't think he's going to have DRS on that start-finish straight. I think he was just outside it. Let's have a look. No, he doesn't. I didn't think so. So no DRS for Bass. That is going to really make him suffer, because Nicky now is really pushing. And what a great show from Nicky. We know that Bass is a fast driver. He was ahead of this championship. He was the championship leader. Stoner has taken that from him in the last few races. We know Bass is fast, but Nicky is clearly faster. What a great result from this Force India driver here, seeing off the likes of Bass in the Ferrari, maintaining his podium place. We've only got 4 laps to go. We've seen this turn around. Stoner, he was heading this race. He was ahead. He was in first position all the way through the race, right up until lap 51. And what happened? Bo took the place from him, turn 12. Why? Because we had a safety car. We had a safety car lap 46. It went in the end of lap 47, and it managed to close everyone down, which is why we're seeing the end of this race that we are. This is absolutely phenomenal. Stoner on a set of super softs isn't where he wanted to be here. He thought he had it in the bag, but no, he couldn't have been further from the truth, and we see the result of that. Bo first place for Ferrari, Stoner second place, and that gap is just opening up. Look at this, 1.8 seconds. Nicky, 2.7 seconds off the back of Stoner. And I think Nicky is probably going to be challenging Stoner for that second place. And it's probably going to be in the closing stages of this race. Why? Because he's got Bass behind him, pushing at him as well. Yes, Bass is nearly 3 seconds behind him, but he knows he's there. So this is really pedal to the metal time. Martin for Toro Rosso, fantastic result for Martin. Started off in P13, is now in P5. He has done tremendously well. What a result for him. 8 places, he's jumped up there. So great result for Toro Rosso. P5, he'll be happy if he can take that home. Slacky for Renault, P6. Buddha, his teammate, P7. He's not going to be so happy. He was P5. Gamble for McLaren. Oh, it all went horribly wrong. They didn't have the right start, but they didn't have the position on the start, but they managed to get through the field, him and his teammate. Excuse me while I choke. But it all went wrong for them yet again. Elfrans for Force India, what a disaster he had. He managed to get through the field as well, but then he had that collision with the Mercedes, spun out, lost his front end, had to come into the pits, and this is the consequence. Phenomenon for Sauber. He's raced a good steady race. 3-second time penalty for Nicky there. Miguel, he's also raced a great race. He's in P11. There we have our DNFs: Peter, Grim, Jerome, Michael, Zwoof, Savage, and here we are now with our race leader, and he's now got that lead to 2.7 seconds to Stoner. Nicky 3 seconds behind Stoner. That gap is actually round about the same, so I was hoping that he challenged for P2, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to. But as I said earlier, and I believe as has just been pointed out by one of our DNF drivers, we do have time penalties to be incurred. But those time penalties I think are going to be a little bit further down the field, say from Martin down, although I think Nicky's picked up a couple. So yeah, he could still lose that podium place potentially. It's 3 seconds between him and Bass. I can't recall Bass picking up any. I think Bass may have picked up 1 time penalty. I think Nicky's actually picked up 2. So that being the case, Nicky could potentially lose that podium place with that 3 second time penalty. If so, he needs to make up another 2.5 seconds. Gamble's got a 3 second time penalty as well now, so he needs to open up that gap. Probably, probably by about another 1.2 seconds. Whoa, this is really going to mix it up. My God, if it wasn't nail-biting enough watching it, it's also worse knowing that there are going to be time penalties to be incurred. Oh, what is going to happen? But Bo is in the lead. He is 3.3 seconds, but I do think also he has a time penalty. Oh, I would look it up now on the race director option, but to be honest, it's 2 laps to go, and I'm too interested in watching them race. Let the points sort themselves out at the end. But what a race it has been. Bo takes that first place from Stoner on turn 12. Stoner, unfortunately, because he's on a set of super softs, just cannot respond as much as he wants to. He cannot challenge Bo, and believe you me, he wants to. He's led this race all the way through to lap 50, and what happens? It's taken from him right at the end. He is not going to be happy, but that's racing, and as I said, anything can happen. Bass, 4th place. He won't be challenging for that podium, but then again he might. As we said, we do have penalties to incur, so let's keep an eye on that. He still might get that podium. Martin, he's in 5th place, and to me, he has raced a fantastic race. Really, really good result for this Toro Rosso driver here in 5th place. Slacky for Renault, he's in 6th. Gamble for McLaren, he's moved up to 7. Elfrance, he's in 8th. Buddha, unfortunately, has DNF'd. Not too sure what happened there. I think he may have had an issue or got off the track. We will find out in due course. Phenomenon will take P9. Miguel will take P10. We've seen 7 drivers drop out of this race. Oh, sorry, 8, because Miguel isn't actually connected. It is his AR Racing. So it has been a demanding race. It's been a challenging race, and it has taken its casualties without any shadow of a doubt. And the biggest casualty, as far as I'm concerned, I'm watching him right now. Stoner, he will take a podium place. He will be 2nd, but we start lap 56. Bo in the Ferrari is leading this Circuit de las Americas F1 tonight, 2017, season 3, race 18, and what a drive he has had. He is going to feel so lucky. He obviously prayed to the safety car gods during the course of this race, and they responded to him. Stoner, 2nd place for Haas. He'll still be picking up valuable points. He will still maintain that lead. He will have a lead, although it will be slightly less. I think it was 11 points. It's probably going to be down to about 9 ahead of Bass. So he still will be right leading this Drivers' Championship. Nicky, what a fantastic race from Nicky. Supreme qualifying in the wet. Really, really, really tremendous. I thought, yes, he's doing well in the wet. That's what Nicky does. But then he did it again in the dry. And what a result. He managed to get himself into the 2nd row. He's maintained that place throughout this race. He's really driven a savvy race, and he's going to be very, very happy with coming away with that podium. But as I said, there are penalties to incur. Hopefully they won't reflect on the fact that he'll lose that podium place. Hopefully not, but we will see. Bass is in 4th place for Ferrari. As we're coming round now, Bo, round Hayden Hill, round turn 19. Coming round the final turn now, turn 20, to win this F1 tonight, 2017, Season 3, Race 18, Circuit de las Americas. 2nd place, Stoner in the Haas. Oh, he's going to be so disappointed with that. Provisional 3rd place, Nicky in the Force India. 4th, Bass in the Ferrari. 5, Martin, great race for Martin in the Toro Rosso. 6 will be Slacky as he's coming round Hayden Hill now into turn 19, round the final turn to take the start finish. Slacky for Renault taking 6th place. Gamble for McLaren will take provisional 7th place. And there we have it. And I believe we do have the adjustments. We will see in due course. So there we have it, people. I hope you've enjoyed it. I certainly have. It's been great. And indeed, we do maintain those places. Bo for Ferrari takes 1st place. Happy, lucky man. Stoner for Haas takes 2nd place. He stays ahead. He is still the Drivers' Championship. Bo will still maintain 3rd. Bass will be in 2nd. But Nicky from Force India, what a fantastic show from the Force India driver here this evening. Fantastic qualifying, fantastic finish to that race. He finishes in 3rd place and picks up some very much valued points. Bass finishes 4th for Ferrari, Martin for Toro Rosso 5th, Slacky for Renault 6th, Gamble for McLaren 7, Elfren for Force India 8, Phenomenal for Sauber 9, and Buddha for Renault takes 10. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please join us next week, Thursday night, for race 19. If you're interested in watching other races, please do also watch Synergy PWR Division 2 races on a Tuesday evening starting at 7:45. And on a Wednesday evening, Division 1 races starting at 7:45. F1 tonight, Thursday nights, phenomenal racing starting 7:45. We look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you and good night.